Hey guys, Jeremy here again, and this is going to be update number 2 on the Fluval Flex 15 gallon and the Top Fin 3.5 gallon. Let's jump on into it. Alright guys, so this is my Fluval Flex 15, and the first thing I want to note out, or point out, is that there are no more ghost shrimp. At least not that I've seen in the past hour and a half or so. I cannot find any. There's just none left. That's why I feed these to my crab. He absolutely loves him, or loves them. You can probably see his legs down in there, yeah. I scared him earlier and he hasn't come out the rock yet. But he eats very well. It has been 19 days, or 18 days, since I filmed my last video, and this is also new. I labeled most of the plants that are in here. This first one right here with the long vines going out, or stems, they're not vines, is the Rotella. The how do you spell it? Anacharis, it got erased at the end, is the one that I have over here in the middle. Right here, going down the back. He clipped off a piece and now it's kind of stuck to the end of the driftwood and java moss right here at the front of the tank. And then over here I have water sprites, and I also have them up here. Water sprites, man, I erased a lot of that. The java moss, which is all over my driftwood. I have very, very, very little micro swords left. My crab has been tearing them apart. Yesterday I had actually a little bit more than that, and if you come real close and look at it, you can tell that he just sat there and snipped it. Gotta love Rick. Over here you can see it's some kind of sword. I don't remember what kind of sword, but it is very small. But he uprooted it, you know. Always got to do something to my tank. So I think I'm going to move that one up to this front corner of the tank. He did also uproot some of my Rotella. It's floating at the top. So I will, man, that's blurry. And I've been having this problem with the camera today, that it gets very whitewashed, so I do apologize for that. And then it gets dark like this. It's either one or the other. Anyways, I do plan on replanting the tank today. You see that little guy? Hey, Ed, play nice. Or just don't eat him in general. Anyways, yeah, my bloodfin tetra's name is Ed. But that little guy back there was in baby Endler. There he is. I was about to go around the edge of the tank. If we do come around the edge, I did have 3. So, let's see. I don't know. Yeah, that's 1. I can't seem to spot any in the camera, at least. And if I look away from the camera, y'all are just going to be looking at some random spot until I find the babies. So I'd rather not do that. There used to be 3, but now I can only find that 1. Right back there behind all the plants. I've just been feeding him my omega-1 flake food, and it's been, you know, working fine. He's still alive. I've watched him eat it, so I know he does eat it. But all I could ever find was 3 little baby Endlers. I do want to get many more. As you can see, there's nowhere near as many now. I haven't found many bodies, so I do assume Rick ate them, or Ed, or both. But I only had to pick out 2 or 3. yeah, 2 or 3 endlers, and I think only 2 shrimp out of all 20 or 30 that I got. So he ate very well. Still got my little snail. He's doing well. I gotta go to the fish store on Monday and get some more ghost shrimp, see if they have any more endlers. Last time I went, I bought the endlers as feeder fish, and last time I went they only had guppies, so I didn't get any. But let's see what happens next time around. Well, I'm gonna replant the tank. Well, not replant it, but you know, organize, we'll say, the plants a little more, and then we'll come back and look at this one. But for now, let's go to the 3.5 gallon. Alright guys, so for this 3.5 gallon, I am not very proud of it at the moment because it does have a lot of algae, and I am trying to get rid of it. First off, not by pulling it out, because it is all wrapped up in my Java moss, and I want to save the Java moss. So my first method of attack was some flying foxes, and they've been in there for about a week, maybe. I'd say about a week, and they've done a little damage to the algae in there, but it's not quite as much as I was hoping. I have 2 in there, along with a beta, an autocat, and a snail, so it is a little overstocked. So if they don't pick up the pace by maybe a couple more days, 3 or 4 more days, then I'm gonna go to phase 2, which will be, what was it, hydrogen peroxide. So I gotta figure out how to dose that and put that in the tank so I don't, you know, kill my fish, but just kill the algae. But yeah, so here's the tank, and this is what it looks like. As you can see, the very long strands of algae. Sorry, algae or algae. I tried to like mix both words right there. That's Winter. Hi, Winter. You can see the snail in the back of the Buddha. You can see some water sprites that I put back there for background plants. The flying fox, oh, there's one. I do have 2. They just like to stay in the back when the beta is up front. I have this piece of driftwood now. This driftwood did not come from an aquarium store. I actually got it from an antique shop. One of the nice old ladies there said she has a giant collection of driftwood. It's just something she liked to collect. And she wanted to sell one of the pieces, so she put it out in the shop. I picked it up. I boiled it. It would not stop oozing out sap. But I did get all of the tannins out of it. I did soak it for a couple more days inside of the tank before putting any fish or plants or anything in it. And a little bit of the tannins did come out, but not many. Did a couple water changes, and now you can see the water is pretty clear. So I'm happy with that. This Elocharis owl something, I still don't remember how to pronounce the name, is growing quite well. I did replace the light, because previously this little tank had a 10-watt floodlight. It was an LED floodlight off of Amazon, because the original lights it was 3 little chips of LEDs, and they were RGB. You could change the colors on them. It wasn't enough, and it wasn't the right spectrum for plants. It wasn't doing so good. So I got the floodlight. Too much light with that one. So now I have a mainland LED strip, which is over here. Let's see, that's my heater. This is my box of fish stuff. Here's a 10-watt light. As you can see, it has some calcium buildup and stuff on it. But that thing is very bright. Just too bright for that little tank. I don't see, oh, it fell back here. So when I bought these at the fish store, well, not these, this one, I only have one in there. He said that it was more of an accent light. But for my little tank, it works perfect as a main light. Let's see. It says tank's up to 10 gallon, it's 8 inches long, 5-year lifetime warranty. That doesn't make any sense. Oh well. It just has an on and off switch. It does have a blue LED, which I can show you after I put this stuff back. That's my dog. Hey, Bear. He just doesn't care right now. Okay, so back to the tank. We got a switch over here. It goes on, that's off, and then blue. If I turn off the light, and if I were to turn off the other light, both lights are off. This is what it looks like, all blue. And it might look a little nicer now. Wow, you know, I might start filming in the dark. I wonder if this will help out my 15 gallon. If we come over here, it does look a little nicer now. I just might start filming in the dark, considering it's only 7 o'clock and there's no sun or anything out. Anyways, let me start rescaping this tank, or organizing the plants in this tank, and alright guys, here it is. Freshly organized. Let me show you around, show you what I did. I cleaned up this one back here, got rid of some of the dead plants. The one that was, the piece that was floating right here, moved it back there, trimmed it off. I did trim off one of the pieces that got really long and was hanging out forward. So that's back there too. I got another one over here. If we come over here, we got all of this rotella. Now it's streaming out towards the front. Hey, look at that. Look who's back there. And of course my camera won't focus. Very sorry about that, guys. But there's Rick, hiding out behind the driftwood. I got all this rotella coming out to the front. I finally got this sword planted. That was a pain in the butt to plant. But it should grow in nicely up here. It does have good lighting. Much better lighting than back there. These water sprites up front, I did have to trim one of them. It was just falling apart as I was trying to take it out of the tank. That thing was just dead. I did find some Java moss. I put it here. One of these back here, I don't remember the name of it. It's Anna Charis or something like that. I planted a little tiny one right here. So we can monitor how fast that thing grows every time I make an update. I should get my little dry erase marker and mark out its height. I think I'll do that. I got another little rotella here. I like to watch the roots grow through the grass, or through the glass and the gravel. I just think it's interesting. And then as for the water sprites, I really didn't do much to those back there. They had one dead piece. I pulled it off. That was about it. Those are doing very well in this tank. But yeah, guys, that's about all I did. Got my AutoCAD going there. I've reduced the lighting for, I don't know, a week and a half now. It was just after I made my last video, and all the algae that I used to have growing has subsided. You can still see a couple little specks if the camera focuses on the grass or on the glass. So it's not too bad no more. But yeah, guys, let's see how it grows in over the next couple weeks, and I'll keep you guys updated. Thank you.